Three of us from the Abbey went to the 19th annual Western Buddhist Monastics gathering, and this year it was held at City of the Dharma Realm in Sacramento. For the 19 years now, it's really rather amazing. Western Buddhist monastics from different Buddhist traditions come together once a year. We don't call it a conference because we're not, coming out with resolutions and these kinds of things. We call it a gathering because we're really gathering in friendship. So it's usually from a Monday to a Friday, and then we take turns going to different temples or Dharma centers, wherever, and having the program. And then that way we get a chance to see how things are done in the monasteries and temples from the different traditions. So I've gone to all but 3 or perhaps 4 during these 19 years, and they're just wonderful opportunities to make friends with people from other Buddhist traditions who have a lot of the same experiences as we do about trying to be monastics in the West, where nobody knows who you are and what you're trying to do. And so, in fact, when we started the Abbey here, I relied very heavily on some of the abbots and abbesses that I had met from our monastic gathering, because I could call them and ask them for advice about things that my Asian teachers couldn't give me any help with, like how do you do things according to the U.S. laws and file your applications, and how do you make sure that monastics have health care in this country? In Asia it's a completely different system, but these practical things. And then also, how do you train Westerners with all of our independent mindedness? How do you create a feeling of community for people who, didn't necessarily grow up where they learned how to live in community? So it's been really wonderful developing these friendships over many, many years. And this year, I think what was special, at least for me, was that we've always been harmonious, but this year especially, there was an increased sense of harmony and an increased sense of people really working together on things that were common challenges for us. Yeah. So, we had breakout groups in, on different topics. Some of the topics, one topic centered around, how do we as Westerners practicing in the West in a monastic situation, we relate to Eastern ways of doing things and Eastern customs. Yeah, and so from that morning's discussion came another whole series of breakout discussions where we talked about what did we talk about? We talked about gender equity. We talked about practicing Vinaya in the West. What else? Oh yeah, the relationships of seniors to juniors, hierarchy. Yeah, that was a big topic that spread over the whole thing, was growing up, in a Judeo-Christian culture, and then becoming a Buddhist. What kind of baggage do you bring with you? So the whole topic about guilt came out, and that came out actually on the first day, and then we had a guilt group meeting, for 3 days in a row, in addition to another breakout session, because people were really interested in this topic.
Late night.
Yeah, they were the last group to leave. They stayed really late. Talking just about guilt and low self-esteem and all this thing that, Westerners really have a big problem with. Yeah? So it started out with, with the discussion of being taught original sin, and then it went through a whole variety of different topics, you know, really, I mean, different subtopics, really getting into this. So people really came together, you know, to help each other in this kind of thing. It wasn't like, well, our tradition says this and our tradition does that. It was like, okay, this is a common problem. How do we work together? Yeah, so very, very fruitful. Yeah, and then the nuns at the city of the Dharma realm took such good care of us. I mean, they were cooking and working in the office and cleaning up our tea room, and just wonderful, really taking joy in welcoming so many monastics to their temple. It was very lovely to see.
From the depths of their heart.
From the depths of their heart, right. Yeah, it was really very, very genuine. Yeah, and even though there was a lot to do, nobody seemed to be going crazy because of stress, you know. They just divided it up and got it all done, and yeah, well, very well.